In this lecture, we're going to learn all about some of the Facebook advertising guidelines and policies that they have for the images that you use in official Facebook ads. I'm not talking about Facebook posts, which the difference is that a Facebook ad you pay for and your image is shared based on the people that you target, like you would in any other advertising or marketing platform. A Facebook post is just an image that you share on your Facebook wall in your Facebook groups, the ones that you're a part of. But today we're going to talk about advertising on Facebook. So, things that you need to keep in mind when creating an advertisement for Facebook. So, right here, I've brought up Facebook's advertising policies. Now, I'm going to talk about the ad review process, using text and images. They get really specific about this. Using Facebook, using the word or any of their branding in your ads, and age-restricted material. Let's talk about the first part, the ad review process. Before ads show up on Facebook or Instagram, since Instagram is owned by Facebook, they're reviewed to make sure that they are meeting expectations for Facebook. Now, this usually happens within 24 hours. I've never had it take more than maybe 1 or 2 hours, but in some cases it might take longer. These are some of the reasons below why your ad may not pass. Using text and images has always been my biggest problem when trying to do Facebook ads, because no more than 20% of the entire image can be text. And I've created an image before thinking, well, there's hardly any text on this, but I used a really big font, and so it was considered more than 20%. I'm going to show you how to use the Facebook tool to determine whether or not your images are going to be approved. It's right here, called the grid tool, and I'll be posting the link to this in the supplementary materials for this section. Basically, you're going to upload your image that you have downloaded. So I'm going to go to here's a promotion that I used to do in October, and I'm going to upload it, and it's going to see if there is 20% or less of text to see if I pass. So as soon as it is uploaded, it asks you to click on all the boxes that contain text. So this one has a U, this one has some letters, this one, these all do. And as you can see, 56% of this image is text. So I wouldn't be able to use this as a Facebook ad. There's too much text. What I could do instead is maybe take out this last day urgency call and just say use code Spooktober. Let's see if I were to take that out, if that would help. Nope, still too much. So maybe I can get creative and just use Spooktober. That is 20% text. Just my big promo code in the middle. So maybe you might want to use this, use code and last day, in the text of your post. There are much fewer restrictions on what text you can put in your post, so that's what I would recommend doing. That's how to use the grid tool on Facebook. And now let's go back and review the 2 remaining advertising guidelines. Sometimes you might want to refer to Facebook in your ad. The only things you can do are write Facebook with a capital letter F, which I think is interesting because their own logo doesn't have a capital F, but to use the proper noun Facebook, you need to have a capital F, and you also need to display the word Facebook in the same font and style as the content surrounding it. So don't use Times New Roman and then all of a sudden switch to Helvetica for Facebook. It needs to be the same font as all the other surrounding text. Those are the 2 things you must do. These are the things you cannot do. Don't use the Facebook logo in the place of the word Facebook. Don't make Facebook plural. Use it as a verb or abbreviate it. So don't use FB, abbreviation. Don't say, Facebook your friends now and tell them. And don't say, I really like the way that these Facebooks look. I don't know how else you would use Facebook plurally, but just don't do that. Don't use an altered version of the Facebook logo in your image. Use the authentic, original, legitimate Facebook logo. Those are things you must not do in order to be approved. One last thing you must keep in mind is that you cannot use age-restricted material. So some ads don't get approved because they may try to show photos or messages to an audience that's too young. So if you're advertising cigarettes or alcohol to 13-year-olds, not going to pass. So example, like right here, like I just said, ads for alcohol must meet certain guidelines, and they include restrictions on age based on location and the laws in the countries that you're trying to target. So those 3 things are what you need to know. Text and images, be careful. Only use 20% or less. Mentioning Facebook, do write Facebook with a capital F, and do display the word Facebook in the same font as everything else surrounding it. And third, if your ad contains age-restricted material, it may not be approved. Keep these 3 things in mind when designing your awesome and beautiful Canva Facebook promotions.